evening. So, I thought that you should revise the concept again at home, which is very important. This concept basically covers some of the questions in your CBSE class 10 examination, and of course will be helpful in your competitive exams also. So, this concept is all about simple past and past perfect. Okay, we have already completed all the four forms of present tense in the classroom. इसीलिए आज मैंने सोचा कि क्यों ना सिंपल पास्ट एंड पास्ट परफेक्ट एक बार रिवाइज करवा दूँ आप लोगों को, क्योंकि यहाँ से क्वेश्चन सीबीएसई में बनते हैं. तो आप देख सकते हैं कि सिंपल पास्ट में हम क्या यूज़ करते हैं, V2 फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब. ठीक है, वर्ब्स इरेगुलर वर्ब्स भी होते हैं और रेगुलर वर्ब्स भी होते हैं. वर्ब्स, कुछ वर्ब्स का फॉर्म नहीं चेंज होता है. V1 में भी वो, V2 में भी वो सेम रहते हैं और V3 में भी सेम रहते हैं. जैसे V1 में कट बोलते हैं तो V2 में भी कट बोलेंगे और V3 में भी कट बोलेंगे. ठीक है, तो ये बेसिकली कॉन्सेप्ट कैसे डेवलप होता है. यू नीड टू रिवाइज एंड रिवाइज ऑल द थ्री फॉर्म्स ऑफ द वर्ब्स एंड एज वेल you should know the 5 forms of the verb, how those forms of the verbs are formed. Fine. Now moving on to the second example, like dream. Okay, so it can be written as dreamed or / dreamt. Okay, so this is the same in V3 form of the verb, and V3 form of the verb is used in the past perfect as well as present perfect. Since we are studying about the two tenses today, simple past and past perfect, and we are going to do the comparative study as well. So you can see the first example, the music started. So what we have used over here, started, right? So started, ed. So when we talk about ed form of the verbs, we know that it is V2 form of the verb. When the curtains opened. Now what is used over here? When, right? And it is followed again by V2 form of the verb. So what we analyze from this, why both the forms of the verbs that are used over here are in V2 form, that is the second form of the verb. So explanation is, the music started at the same time as the curtains opened. When we use V2 form of the verbs in the past, okay, in both the sentences mentioned over here, it means that the activities had started in the past itself, at the same time itself, past and at the same time itself. Okay, now just see the second example over here. The music had started when the curtains opened. Again when, and here we have V2 form of the verb. It means with when we use V2 form of the verb, and then again with while we use what? Past continuous form of the verb. This also you have to keep in mind. Later on we will deal with that concept. Okay, the explanation will be given in detail. As of now, we have to focus on the two concepts, that is simple past and past perfect. Why am I talking about these two tenses of the past over here? Because in CPSE we get to see the questions from this part. Okay, where do we use past perfect and where do we use simple past? So normally we know that for the actions that had already completed in the past, okay, it's over, the work is finished. Okay, so for that we use simple past. But what about if the two activities in the past are taking place? Then where to use simple past and past perfect? Always there is a confusion. So as we have already discussed the first example, we found that The music started when the curtains opened. The music started when the curtains opened. It simply implies that both the activities had taken place, that is the starting of music as well as the start of music as well as the opening of the curtains had taken place at the same time. Therefore, when the activities in the past takes place at the same time, we use what? We use V2 form of the verb. Now, moving on to the second example, as we were discussing, the music had started when the curtains opened. So, two types of verb forms are used over here. You can see. First is the V3, that is had plus started, isn't it? Because V3 refers to the past participle, and past participles are usually used with your present perfect tense or in present perfect tense or past perfect tense. So here you can see the music had started implies that the music had already started in the past. We are talking about the situation wherein two activities had already started in the past. If such kind of questions are given, okay, how to solve? So as you can see over here, past perfect plus simple past tense opened has been used in the same sentence. Okay, it simply implies that the music started and then the curtains opened. The music had already started. It means what? Past perfect is used for the action that happened first. This is what you need to keep in the mind as क्वेश्चन इस पार्ट से आते हैं आपको, ठीक है. बेसिकली एक पार्ट दे दिया जाता है आपको, पास्ट टेंस फॉर्मेशन दे दिया जाएगा, उसके बाद नेक्स्ट ब्लैंक आपके लिए छोड़ दिया जाएगा. सो यू हैव टू सी वेदर बोथ द एक्टिविटीज आर हैपनिंग एट द सेम टाइम इन द पास्ट और द फर्स्ट एक्टिविटी और द एक्शन दैट स्टार्टेड हैड हैपेंड फर्स्ट. Because for the action that had happened first, we use past perfect. Right? So as you can see over here, the music had already started. The music जो है वो शुरू हो गई थी, उसके बाद जो है curtain खुला. Then the curtain opened. Right? नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल आप देखिएगा. आई वॉज हैप्पी. वॉज इंडिकेट्स सिंपली एंड solely was has been used over here, and was indicates your V2 form of verb. It means the sentence is in simple past. Okay, and it implies the situation. So when we talk about the situation, we use simple past. Now reason, and if we talk about the reason, because I had got tickets for the festival. I was happy because I had got tickets for the festival. So I had got. This is the reason why I was happy. Because I had got the tickets for the festival. So when we talk about the reason, okay, reason for the situation, or when the reason for the situation is given, for the reason we use past perfect. And for the situation we use simple past. This you need to keep in mind. This is only the concept you need to keep or grasp so that you can attempt the questions in the examination. We have already covered the signal words, that is the indicators. Like for past perfect, we know that the indicators are yet, the commonly seen indicators are yet, then just, then already, right? And there are others also, but these are the commonly seen indicators used for past perfect tense. So this is what you need to keep in mind. Simple past tense: yesterday, the previous day, the last week, the last month, the day before yesterday. Okay, so all these words those are the words that shows the completion of the action in the past. Okay, we use in simple past. Now as you can see the graph over here, I have drawn a graph simply to make you understand the concept. Okay, the concept is very simple. This indicates your present time, this indicates your future, and this indicates your past. When we talk about the two past activities, 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2, and the activity that had happened or taken place first, that had taken place first, for that we use past perfect tense. Of course, we are going to solve some of the questions also, and for the next activity in the past, we are going to use simple past. I hope that the concept is quite clear to you. We are going to deal with some of the questions. We are going to solve some of the questions so as to make the concept clearer. Thank you.